Faith is not just belief, it is action that demands consistency, sacrifice, and courage. Too many people confuse faith with a passive state of mind, as if it's simply saying, "I believe," and waiting for miracles to arrive at their doorstep. But real faith is alive, it breathes, it moves, and it works. Faith is the decision to take a step when you cannot see the whole staircase, trusting that each move you make will reveal another step ahead. It's not about having all the answers but moving forward anyway, because you know deep down that standing still will only keep you where you are. Faith without action is like a car without fuel. It looks good parked in the driveway, but it will never take you anywhere. Maximizing your faith means you stop treating it like a feeling and start treating it like a responsibility. If you wake up every morning hoping life will change, but you never discipline yourself to work, to study, to pray, to sacrifice, then your faith is just words. The greatest results are reserved for the ones who act on their faith with boldness. Consistency becomes the backbone of faith. It's not enough to believe on Monday and give up by Friday. You must stand in the same belief when the world applauds you and when it laughs at you. You must practice the small disciplines daily, reading, growing, hustling, staying positive, because faith grows stronger when it is exercised like a muscle. Sacrifice is another dimension. Faith will always demand that you let go of something smaller so you can step into something greater. Sometimes it means walking away from the crowd that pulls you down. Sometimes it means spending your nights studying instead of wasting time on distractions. Sometimes it means letting go of the comfort you know for the destiny you have not yet seen. Every sacrifice stretches you, but it also clears space in your life for faith to operate. Without sacrifice, your faith remains theoretical. With sacrifice, your faith becomes undeniable. Courage is the fire that keeps faith burning when fear tries to put it out. Fear will whisper to you that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, that your dreams are too big, that your future is too uncertain. But courage, fueled by faith, rises up and says, "I will try anyway. I will go anyway. I will fight anyway." Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear, it means you choose not to be controlled by fear. Every step you take in courage makes your faith bigger. When you look back at the mountains you've already climbed, the battles you've already survived, you realize your faith is no longer fragile, it's fortified. Think about it. A seed planted in the soil looks like nothing. But when nurtured with consistency, sacrifice, and courage, it pushes through dirt, stone, and storm to become a tree. That's how faith works. You may look small today, you may feel buried under challenges, but if you maximize your faith by living it out, you will break through and grow into something unstoppable. Faith gives you the audacity to dream, the resilience to endure, and the strength to rise again when life knocks you down. The truth is, you don't need faith just to survive, you need faith to thrive. You need faith to start the business, to heal the relationship, to pursue the vision, to forgive the hurt, to step into the unknown. And maximizing your faith means you refuse to let it sit idle. You put it to work. Every word you speak, every choice you make, every step you take must reflect the belief that your life has meaning and your future has promise. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop waiting for the applause. Start where you are. Move with what you have. Act like you already believe the outcome is certain. Faith is not wishing, it's building. Faith is not waiting, it's moving. And when you live with that kind of faith, you unlock doors you didn't even know existed. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to walk with a confidence that is unshakable, because you know your faith is alive and in motion. So maximize your faith today. Make it visible, make it loud, make it courageous. Let your actions prove what your mouth proclaims. Because when faith becomes more than words, when it becomes consistent, sacrificial, and courageous, nothing in this world can stop you from becoming who you were meant to be. True faith is tested in the storms of life, not in the calm, and maximizing it requires discipline, humility, and vision. Anybody can say they have faith when the sun is shining, when the bills are paid, when the body is healthy, when doors are opening, and when life feels easy. But real faith reveals itself when the rain won't stop, when the nights are long, when the answers don't come, and when everything inside you wants to quit. Faith that only works in comfort is fragile. Faith that stands strong in chaos is powerful. The storm is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. It is in the storm that you discover how deep your roots really are, and how much strength you really carry. Discipline is the first key to maximizing your faith in the storm. Discipline is what allows you to stay steady when emotions want to take control. Discipline means you show up even when you don't feel like it. You keep moving when everything in you says sit down. You keep praying when the answers are delayed. You keep working on your dream when the progress is invisible. Discipline trains your spirit to remember what your emotions forget, that faith is bigger than the circumstances you see. Discipline is how you silence the excuses, how you keep your focus, and how you refuse to let the storm dictate your direction. Without discipline, faith becomes inconsistent. With discipline, faith becomes unstoppable. But discipline alone is not enough. You must carry humility. Humility keeps you grounded when faith begins to open doors. Humility reminds you that your victories are not just your doing, but a result of grace, guidance, and the unseen strength that carried you. Without humility, faith can turn into arrogance. Humility makes you teachable. It makes you grateful. It makes you recognize that you are not climbing this mountain by yourself, but with a greater power and with the help of others along the way. Humility keeps your faith pure, so you never lose sight of the bigger picture. It teaches you to celebrate progress without worshiping success, to value the journey more than the applause, and to serve others as you rise. Vision is the final piece, because without vision, faith has nowhere to go. Faith needs a target. Faith is not random hope, it is focused belief. Vision is what allows you to look past the storm and see the destination. Vision is what keeps you moving forward when the present looks impossible. Vision paints a picture in your heart of the life you are called to live, the person you are destined to become, the legacy you are meant to leave. And when storms rise, vision reminds you that what you see today is not the end of the story. Vision whispers that your pain has purpose, your struggle has meaning, and your endurance is shaping a future that will make sense of the hardship. Imagine a ship caught in a violent sea. The waves crash, the winds howl, and the night is dark. If the captain has no destination, he will panic, drift, and be destroyed. But if the captain has a vision of the harbor, he endures the storm because he knows where he is headed. That is what vision does for your faith. It gives your storm a context. It gives your suffering a direction. It tells you that this struggle is not the final chapter, it is only the setup for the breakthrough that lies ahead. Maximizing your faith is not about living storm-free. It's about being storm-proof. It's about having the discipline to stay steady, the humility to stay grounded, and the vision to stay focused. It's about realizing that the storm doesn't define you, it refines you. It strips away the shallow parts of you, the weak parts of you, and it leaves behind only the strongest, most unshakable version of yourself. The storm is not a curse, it is a classroom. And if you embrace it, it will teach you resilience, patience, gratitude, and wisdom. Think about every great story, every great leader, every great transformation. None of them were born in comfort. They were shaped in storms. They were tested by life, and they chose to maximize their faith instead of surrender to fear. That is the invitation for you. Don't waste your storm. Don't complain through it. Don't run from it. Use it. Grow from it. Let it sharpen your discipline, deepen your humility, and expand your vision. And when you come through the storm, and you'll discover that your faith has been multiplied. You'll walk with a strength you never knew you had. You'll inspire others who are still fighting their battles. You'll realize that maximizing your faith was never just about surviving, it was about becoming. Becoming the person who can weather any season. Becoming the leader who can guide others. Becoming the soul that shines brightest when the world grows dark. So embrace your storm. Maximize your faith. Stand tall with discipline. Walk low with humility, and look far with vision. Because the storm is temporary, but the strength you gain from it will last forever.